Hello there, 7th graders. This is Mr. Kaufman. In this video, I'm going to do an overview of using the rubric for my sample frame. Again, I'm going to put it all together. So previous videos would come before this one, and this would be the final conclusion video to summarize and sum up how my sample frame would score using our rubric. So again, here was my frame. On the left side, right, I'm showing some of the daily life and responsibilities of the serf taking care of and feeding the pigs. We have here the interaction between the serf and the knight or the local lord, and the serf is asking permission to leave the manor to sell some shoes he made in his spare time, addressing his lord with the title, my lord. And then the knight responding, no, you are the only stonemason and you have to stay here to fix the local mill. And again, I included here the little caption to make clear to my reader that the knight, part of his responsibility would be to running the daily activities on the manor. So here's sort of an overview of the different pieces of the rubric to kind of sum it up. Again, here showing daily life and responsibilities, which again is meeting standard, as well as here I did do some additional research. In this case, we're talking about some of the other jobs that the serfs would have done, which is a hard shoer or a stonemason, and so forth. So that's showing I exceeded standard here on daily life responsibilities of the serf. Now, on the relationship, I didn't do any extra research or anything, but it does clearly show the relationship that a serf would have had to ask a knight permission to leave, so that would have met standard. And then finally, for the use of vocabulary, I used manner correctly here, as well as in my caption on the horse, which you can't see on this slide, but was on the previous one, as well as some vocabulary words, some vocab and dialogue that they would have really used in the medieval times with hard shoer and dimps. All right, so overall, the vocabulary would have exceeded standard. All right, so overall, right, for my rubric of the sample frame of the poem, for daily life responsibilities, I'm exceeding because I included some additional research of some jobs that a serf would have had. For between, I met because I clearly demonstrated the relationship between a serf and his local lord. And for vocabulary, I exceeded because I included a vocabulary word and used it correctly, as well as I did some research and included some extra vocabulary words in there. Now look at down to responsibility and thoroughness. Again, this is just a single frame, right? So my full cartoon project would have been much longer, but I did have the required ideas in there, right? I did talk about the relationships, I did talk about the daily life responsibilities, and I included vocabulary. And then really, it's pretty neat, and there's a few mechanical errors. And again, I included additional information, so I would have exceeded standard here on my responsibility in terms of thoroughness, and we will assume that I submitted this work by the deadline, and or I got permission to extend my deadline, so I would have met exceeded standard there. So that's it. That's an overview of what a final score would look like, again, for just a single frame of what would be the larger project. Please remember that this project is individually graded, right? So I'm going to go through it, and whoever is in charge of serf or peasants, I'm looking through the cartoon, finding all the information about the serf and peasant to make sure that it's present. And I will do the same thing for the person in charge of monarch, lords, nobles, and knights. Good luck.